So hi, everybody who's out there listening. This is Annette, for those of you who don't know me. We'll be getting going here at 6. If you want to throw a comment up there, let me know if you're here. That would be lovely. And right behind me, I just have my mat and a block or a couple blocks. If you don't have a block, that's fine. You could literally use a water bottle. So for some of what we're doing, it might be nice to have something just to lift you a little higher for some of our folds. And water bottle close by. Just make sure you have a comfortable space to move around in, and we'll get going shortly. As you guys all know, I can't see who's out there, but I'm excited and fascinated by this process of teaching to a bunch of people I can't see. But anyway, so if you have a moment, throw a hello up there. But I am really happy to be doing this. If you've taken other classes, I'm sure you've heard from the other teachers that we kind of miss doing what we love to do. So if you do have any questions also before we get started, we have a couple of minutes. Shoot them in the comments there, and I'll get back to you before we start. All right, so it's 6 o'clock, so I'll get started, but maybe just one last announcement for those of you who just tuned in. So get yourself set up in a comfortable space. We're going to do a flow tonight, but really, really easy. And obviously, as always in a practice of yoga, please take care of you. So if anything does get to be uncomfortable or just too much for your energy level right now, I know a lot of us out there have probably been having little bouts of weird stuff with all this going on. So just take care of you. And one last thing, as you may or may not know already, there's no music coming through this because it always sounds really, really awkward streaming through someone else's computer. So if you do want to play music, feel free to get it on right now, just as long as you can hear my voice for guidance. I think that's it. So we'll get started. All right. Okay. So we'll begin taking a seat. Okay. And we're just going to begin to massage your hips. We're going to use the floor. Those of you who take my classes know I use tennis balls. But in the absence of that for everyone, or the knowledge that everyone had that, we're going to just kind of use the floor. So we've got our hands behind us like so, okay? And so we're reclined, okay? And then we're gonna lift up onto the toes. So you're pointing your toes. And then you're just gonna massage the hips side to side. And now go ahead and lift the toes and just recline and just kind of knead all that flesh of the bottom. Right? So just rotation, it'll feel nice to get some spinal movement. And just massaging those glutes, all that meat of our hips. Just really enjoying that. And now start to go in a little bit of a circle, right? So we can get a little bit more up by that hip bone. And your abs will be turning on a little bit, right? This isn't really a big abdominal exercise, but you're going to get a little bit of that and go in the other direction. Good. All right. So we're going to come to a comfortable seated position. So I really want you to be in a position that feels fully comfortable for you. So if you can use your block, even if your hips are a little more on the open side, you can get yourself up and it just lets the pelvis relax to a position where the spine can get a little more upright. If you have two blocks and you need them, please feel free to sit up on two blocks, okay? And take either Siddhasana or Sukhasana, whichever is really comfortable for you. Okay? Rest your hands on your thighs. And then close your eyes. And just start to tune into the rhythm of your breathing. So in this moment, you're just becoming embodied. So really just entering into this place of simply feeling how this life-giving energy is moving you. And then shifting your awareness to your exhaling breath. And begin to lengthen that phase of the breathing just a little bit more with every exhale. Letting the shoulders really settle, the shoulder blades just smoothly and effortlessly gliding down towards the hips. And with every exhale, noticing a little bit more of that settling. Each breath, each exhale. And then noticing the orbits of the eyes. And allow the eyes to really settle. And the eye sockets feeling a little deep and heavy. And as you elongate the exhaling breath, just notice how each inhalation naturally moves in a little more full without you even forcing. And as you begin to find that natural rhythm to your breathing, beginning to engage Ujjayi breathing, so directly translated from Sanskrit, this means triumphantly uprising. And this breath powers our diaphragm, gives us stability. And so the inhale and the exhale move through the nose. But the jaw is soft, the lips are sealed. throat begins to develop a little bit of tension. That tension we feel when we're swallowing, but not quite that much, like half of that, if even. And so that triumphant breath moves in through the nose, passes through the back of the throat. And begins to really fill the lungs a little bit more each time. And the exhaling breath moving back up, past the back of the throat, and back through the nose. Moving with power, but moving with fluidity. And notice as you lengthen each exhale just a little more, noticing your capacity to feel more, to embody more, and ease with which we begin to tune inward. And starting to feel that subtle but audible quality to the breath, ujjayi. And from here, if you're on a block, make your way off. Place your arms behind you so they're propping you to a neutral spine. And then cross your right leg over your left. Keep yourself propped on your right arm. Sweep your left arm over and around to the outside of your right thigh and just give a little twist over to the right. And then come back to center. Left arm props you up. Switch the cross of the legs. Sweep your right arm up and over into the outside of that left thigh and give yourself a little counter resistance to go into a twist. And then prop yourself on your right, switch, right over left, left sweeps up and over to the outside of the right thigh, gentle twist. Back to center, left arm prop, switch the legs, left over right, right sweeps up and over to the outside of the left, little twist. And one more each, right arm props you up, leg switch, right over left, sweep the left arm up and over to the outside of the right thigh, gentle twist. Back to center, left arm props, leg switch, left over right, right arm sweeps up and over to the outside of the left thigh, gentle twist. Good, and then make our way onto all fours. Place your hands as wide as your mat, spreading out your fingers. Bring your elbows in as the eyes of the elbows point forward. So we get this nice glide of the shoulder blades down the back. And then we're going to come into a couple of cat-cows. Curl your toes under, so flex your feet. And then hug the knees and the toes in so you feel those low belly muscles starting to engage. And then exhale, tip the tailbone towards the floor and segment by segment, pressing away with the hands, release the crown of the head, moving into this beautiful flex position of cat pose. Keep hugging the knees and the toes in so the core fires, flip the tailbone up and back, glide the shoulder blades down the back. Little gaze up, lengthening into cow pose. One more, tip the tailbone towards the floor as you hug the knees and the toes in, press away with the hands, release the crown. And then inhale, flip the tailbone up and back. Keep hugging in with the knees and the toes so we move from that strong core. And then exhale, release to neutral. Point your toes so you're on the tops of your feet. Bring your knees a little wider. Move your hands a little further forward so they're just a little bit in front of the shoulders. And then exhale, shift the hips back towards your heels. And inhale, shift forward, go a little bit beyond the wrists. Look up. Glide the shoulder blades down the back and stretch open the abdominal muscles. And then exhale, shift back, opening up the hips. Inhale, shift forward, shoulders a little bit beyond the wrists. And then engage the core, hug the knees in so we feel a little support for the back. And then exhale, shift back. This time, isometrically press your knees away and sink the hips a little deeper. Inhale, come forward. Hug the knees back in, engaging the core and stretching the abdominals. Exhale back. Now press the knees out away isometrically, letting those hips sink a little deeper. One more each. Inhale forward, hug the knees in so we have a strong back supported by the core. And then exhale, now press the knees away, sink the hips a little deeper. Good. Inhale, come forward, bring the knees in. So we're lining the hip, the knee, and the ankle once again in all fours. Okay. Place your left hand at the midline of your mat. And if you're tight in your back, place your left hand on your block. And we're just coming to a gentle twist. The toes are pointed. Spread out the toes, press to the tops of all 10 toes. Glide the shoulder blades smoothly down the back. Hugging in, firing up that core, and inhale, peel open to the right. Gaze up towards the ceiling as is comfortable. And then exhale, just touching the block with the right hand. And inhale, twist open. Keep those core muscles nice and strong by hugging the knees and the toes in the inner line, firing those core muscles. Inhale, open up. Exhale, just touch back. 2 more. And inhale, twist open, hugging the knees and the toes in. And exhale, tap back. And inhale, open. And exhale, switch. Okay. The left side, spread out the toes, press through the tops, hug the knees and the toes in. And inhale, twist open to the left. And exhale, left hand touches the block. Good. Inhale, twist open to the left. And exhale, touch the block. Good. Keep hugging the knees and the toes in. Inhale, twist open to the left. And exhale, touch the block. 2 more. Inhale, twist open. And exhale, touch the block. And inhale, twist open. And exhale, release. Okay. Set your block off to the side. And we're going to go ahead and make our way to standing at the top of your mat. So placing the feet at hip width. So just inside the flesh of the hips. Okay, like that. Okay. Lift and spread your toes. So we start to activate the arches of the feet, which will support the center of our body. Okay. And now lower the toes back down after you've found that really firm foundation through the feet, the ball of the big toe, the pinky toe, and the inner and outer heels. Lower the toes back down and feel that really grounded connection through both feet. Okay. Soften the hips back for a moment. And then lengthen the tailbone, getting a little pelvic tilt, scoop in the belly muscles, nice and strong, and then pressing through the bases of the feet to straight legs, just not locking them, okay? And then inhale, sweep the arms high, and exhale, side bend over to the left. Good, inhale up, and exhale, side bend over to the right, reaching with left. Good, inhale up. And exhale over to the left, reaching with right. Good, inhale up. Exhale over to the right, reaching with the left. Good. Inhale up, reach with the right, and exhale over to the left. We're going to hold this here. Your right palm is in towards your midline. Glide the shoulder blade down the back. And keeping that full connection of your feet really firm. So as you hug the bases of the feet and you get a lift and an activation to your core, really important for steady movement. And take about 5 more breaths. We're going to keep breathing into the right side of the body. Okay. So the fullness of the breath moving into that rib cage on the right, very subtly, we're not forcing, we're just feeling it move in and enhance that stretch and mobility. And as you exhale, feel a little more energy rooting down from your core and the connection of your feet firmly reestablishing that strength at the core of the body. Okay, good. Inhale up. Switch arms. Left reaches over to right. Good. Glide that left shoulder blade down the back. The left palm is in towards your midline. And sorry, I'm going to be moving around a lot just so you can see my body and you can see form. So however you orientate on your mat that's comfortable for you, please do that. I'm going to move around a little bit just so you can kind of see my body again. Okay. So a little breath into the left rib cage, right? Root down from your core nice and strong. Press through the bases of the feet so they're really reaffirming the strength at the center. A couple more breaths into that left rib cage. And it's just the touch of the breath, not the force of the breath. Good. Inhale up and exhale, release your arms. Okay. So you're going to step your right leg back and we're going to turn on the mat. Okay. So the feet are parallel for the moment. Okay. So wide. So if you were to lift your arms, the span that lines up with your wrists is the kind of the first placement. Okay. And you may adjust as we move as feels comfortable, but this is kind of your base level. Okay. Release the arms, relax. Okay. And then we're going to go back and forth. And if you're fold in Prasarita Padottanasana, if you feel more supported by using a block in front of you, please go ahead and place that. And this is where that water bottle works if you don't have a block. Okay. All right. So for those of you who don't need the block and you can reach the floor readily, you can set that aside. Okay. So bend the knees. So as you inhale, sweep the arms. As you exhale, we're going to sweep the arms to the right. Turn the right foot to point. Okay. And we're going to fold over that right. Okay. Bend the left knee to hover right above the floor. Okay. Keep tracking the breath. Nice long exhale. On an inhale, sweeping the arms up into an upright lunge position. And exhale, fold right back over and straighten your right leg. Turn, pivoting off the left toes, the right heel, and we're going to turn all the way back to the left. Bend the right knee, hover it right above the floor. Take a nice long exhale. Pull that left hip back, keep the knee over the ankle and press strong into that left foot, upright lunge, just a little lift. And then exhale, fold right back over that left leg and straighten. And then inhale, walking back to center. And all the way over to the right. Exhale, sink that left knee, hovering right above the floor. And that right hip pulls back. Keep the knee over the ankle and press powerfully into that right foot. Upright lunge, inhale. And exhale, fold over the right leg. And walking back to center, inhale, take a breath in. Turning all the way to the left, exhale, sink that right knee. Left hip pulls back, knee over the ankle, inhale up. And exhale, fold. Straighten that left leg, pivoting back to center. Take an inhale. Turn the right foot all the way to the back. Exhale, sink that left knee. And inhale, upright. And exhale, fold. Straighten the right leg. Come back to center. Take an inhale. As you transition, left foot points to the front. Exhale, right knee sinks. Inhale, upright. And exhale, fold. Come back to center, feet parallel. Take a nice inhale here. So again, this is where if you need a little more lift, use your block. Okay. So as you inhale, nice and full, feel the rib cage and feel the back body. So don't forget how much space we can find in the breath that supports the length of our low back and the stability. Okay. As you exhale, sink into that left leg in Skandasana. Send the hips back, getting into the inner thigh on that right. And then inhale, come back to center, straighten left leg. Exhale, bend into the right, send the hips back, getting into that left inner thigh. Skandasana to the right. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, bend into the left. Send the hips back, spine nice and long. Skandasana to the left. And then inhale back to center. And exhale, Skandasana into the right. Send the hips back, really getting that nice openness to the adductors. Inhale back to center. And exhale, we're going to hold this time, bending into the left. Send the hips back. Spine lengthened towards neutral if you can, really getting that elongation into the right inner thigh. Take about 3 more breaths in here. And if you haven't already practiced this, see if you can stay with Ujjayi. So the lips sealed, the inhale, the exhale moves through the nose to really power up, but the breath is slow, the exhale is slow. Good. Inhale, back to center, and exhale over to the right. Send the hips back. Holding here. Ujjayi. Inhale. Exhale, nice and slow through the nose. And notice how when you lengthen the exhale, right, the inhaling breath wants to come in all its fullness in response to that complete release, that letting go. So just enjoy how naturally that happens in the body. But inhale, come back to center, and exhale, bend the knees quite deeply. Place your hands on your thighs. Inhale, bring the torso upright, and then straighten the legs. So turn the heels in, toes out just a little bit. And as you inhale, sweep the arms up. So pause, send the hips back a little bit. You're bowing slightly forward with the torso. Scoop the belly muscles in, lengthen the tail, really activating those core muscles. As you exhale, sink, keeping that core contraction really strong. And when we're sinking into goddess pose, Utthita Konasana, the knees track in line with the toes. If your toes are turning up too far and you can't quite track the knees, turn the toes in so the knees line up. Good for the health of the knees. As you inhale, rise up. Right? Belly muscles nice and strong. Scoop in, exhale. Press through the bases of the feet, pull them in, and drive the knees out in the opposite direction. Good, 2 more. Inhale, rise up, sweep the arms. And exhale, glide the shoulder blades down the back, drive the knees out, pull the bases of the feet in. 1 more inhale. And exhale, sink Utthita Konasana, and hold, okay? Pause, right? Really feeling the 4 corners of the feet root. And feeling the pads of the toes hold and that full grounding of the foot. And as you pull the bases of the feet in, feel your glute, feel your hamstrings really enliven, and then drive the knees out and really open up those hips. Good, take an inhale, just do 1 twist, exhale to the left. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale to the right. Good, inhale back to center, rise up. Turn the left toes to point to the front. And fold over that left foot as you pick up the right heel. First Surya Namaskar A, step your left foot back, plank position. And if you want to make this a little softer of a practice, lower those knees. So if you're straight leg, keep a micro bend in the knees, spread out the toes, press back, reach through the heels and hug in with the toes all the way from the pinkies, fire the core, and lower down, long and strong, all the way to the floor. Point your toes. Lift the hips up a little bit so you've got a little space in the front of the hips. Into that softness, really scoop the belly muscles in. Lengthen the tail and support the back through your core. Hands beside the chest. Inhale, lengthen to cobra. Curl the toes under, keep a micro bend in the knees, and then fold the hips up, lead with the strength of your core muscles. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So I'm going to take a few moments to explore the body in this pose. Walk it out. Right, bend the knees one at a time. Wiggle the hips. And then keep the shoulder blades gliding down the back so the eyes of the elbows turn slightly forward. Shoulder blades glide down and the hand fully presses. Elbows hug in a bit to stabilize the shoulders. And then from there, as we keep that spine long and strong, we're just releasing the crown of the head. Okay, bring the big toes to touch now. Keep a little bend of the knees. The tailbone flips up, the pelvic floor broadens, and then we hug in from all 10 toes to fire those core muscles. Lift up high as you inhale. Really stretch out your toes. Feel the arches of the feet. And then exhale. Lower the heels and stretch the calves. Good. Inhale, one more. Lift up really high. Feel the arches. Stretch the toes. And exhale, nice and slow. Really stretching out the calves. Good. As you inhale, look up, find length, and walk your feet in between your hands. Take an inhaling breath, coming up halfway with a little bend of the knees. So the spine comes up neutral, and then exhale. Keep that firmness down through the feet and fold, releasing Uttanasana. And if you're not touching the floor on your fold, please use a block. Place your hands on it so you give your back a little support until those legs become more flexible. That's where you move from, not that lumbar, okay? So give support if you're not reaching the floor yet. Next, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway fold. Exhale, belly muscles drawn strong, and then deeper fold. Really flipping the tailbone up, feet press and hug in, finding your core. And now release the crown of the head. Shake out the head a little bit. Good. Inhale, part way. Pause at Ardha Uttanasana halfway. Take an exhale. Maybe bend the knees a little more deeply, especially if outer hips and hamstrings are tight, to come to a neutral spine. Sweep the arms wide. Keep the feet firmly rooting down and pressing in to fire the core, and inhale all the way up. Exhaling the right hands, come to the heart in Tadasana, and pause for a few breaths here. Close your eyes. Feel your breathing. Drawing out the exhale. You feel that natural inclination of the inhaling breath to come in fullness as we completely release on the exhale. And open the eyes and sweep the arms out. Sink into squat Utkatasana. Sweep the arms up. Chair pose. Exhale, press away with the feet. Reach the sit bones in the opposite direction, Uttanasana. Inhale, partway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And take a slow exhale, nice long spine, press into the feet. Inhale all the way up, reach the arms, Urdhva Hastasana. And now spread out the toes and rise up onto the toes. Right, straight up. Slowly lowering the heels. And sweep the arms, sink the hips, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold, press away with the feet, reach the sit bones in the opposite direction. Inhale, halfway lift. Pause, slow exhale. Press through the feet, pull them in, fire up your core. Inhale all the way up, reach the arms, Urdhva Hastasana, and rise up onto the toes, nice and tall. And exhale, sink the heels, sweep the arms, sink the hips, arms forward, Utkatasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Slow exhale, engage the core, send the energy down, and then send it right back up through that connection of the feet. Inhale all the way up, reach the arms, Urdhva Hastasana, nice and tall, press up through the toes, lift the heels. Exhale, lower the heels, sweep the arms wide and forward as the hips descend, Utkatasana. Last one, exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Take a slow exhale, belly strong, press into the feet. Inhale, reach the arms, Urdhva Hastasana. Slowly rise up onto the toes. Exhale, lower the heels, sweep the arms. Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, now just coming to halfway. Moving through Surya Namaskar A. Exhale, bend the knees, place the hands wide, walk back to plank position. A little bend of the knees, spread the toes, hug in from the toes. Glide the shoulder blades down, eyes of the elbows slightly forward to align the shoulders. And lower down, reaching long out through the crown, back through the heels, all the way to the floor. Remember knees if that's where you are for this practice. So scoop the belly muscles in, lengthen the tail. Smooth, long inhalation, cobra pose. Curl the toes under, little bend of the knees, and fold the hips up, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep your left leg up and back. And exhale, pass it under the body and in between the hands. Turn the right foot parallel to the back edge or slightly turn towards your left if your hips are on the tight side. And then inhale, really press into that left foot firm. And then cartwheel the arms, Virabhadrasana 2. And as you inhale, next breath, turn your palms up. And exhale, reverse your warrior. Keep the left knee reaching towards the front, opening up that hip. And then inhale, back to warrior 2. And exhale, cartwheel over that left foot. And step your left foot back, meet your right in plank position. Take a full breath in. And lower down all the way on your exhale. You're going to point your toes. Little lift of the hips into that softness. Scoop the belly muscles in, lengthen the tail. Inhale to cobra. And exhale to downward facing dog. And inhale, reach up and back with your right leg. And exhale, pulling the belly muscles in and pass the foot under and in between the hands. So I'm going to turn around just so you can see me, okay? I'm going to turn that left foot parallel or slightly turn toward the right foot if the hips are tight. Inhale, cartwheel the arms, okay? Virabhadrasana 2. Take a nice slow exhale. The knee of the right knee reaches and stretches out and really firmly root the feet. As you inhale, palms up. And as you exhale, reverse. As you inhale, right back up through warrior 2. And exhale, cartwheel either side of that left foot. And step it back. Meet your right in plank. Full breath in. And lower down all the way long and strong on your exhale. I'm just going to take a moment to check and see if everyone's okay. Cool. Don't see any messages. Good. All the way to the floor. Good. Point your toes. Lift the hips. Scoop the belly muscles and lengthen that tail. And then inhale to cobra. Keep a little bend in the knees as you curl the toes under and fold the hips up. Downward facing dog. Good. Inhale. Sweep the left leg up and back. And exhale, pass it under the body and in between the hands, lunge position. Right, inhale, cartwheel the arms as you turn your right foot parallel to the back edge or slightly turn towards the left. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. As you inhale, straighten that left leg and reach your arms high. And then exhale, slide your right fingertips behind your head and sink into warrior 2 with that left knee, left fingertips reaching forward. The right shoulder blade really glides down the back. The chin is tucked or leveled as the head kind of rests, but actively back into the right hand, which is receiving it with equal pressure. Then really peel that right elbow back. And opening up the chest and the shoulder on that right side. One more breath. Good. Inhale, left leg straightens, arms reach. And exhale, fold over that left leg. As you inhale, reach up and back with your left leg, 3-leg dog. As you exhale, pass it under the body once again, in between the hands. Lower that right knee all the way to the floor, okay? So we're gonna get a little quad stretch here. So you can do this a couple ways. You can place the left elbow to that knee. You can sink a little deeper to open up the front of the body a little more by coming down under the block 4 all the way to the floor. So bend your right knee. You're going to grab for the top of the foot or the ankle. So a little more accessible to reach if you're up on that thigh, but a little more challenging for your balance. So notice what you may need. And then glide the shoulder blades down the back. The right hand is drawing in to stretch out into that quad. And the foot pushes gently back into the hand. So I don't know, of course, what surface you all are on, but please If you need more cushioning, flip your mat as you need to. If you have a blanket or something, throw it underneath that right knee. So take just a couple more breaths here. And then exhale, release the right foot. Place the hands wide on the mat. And then reach forward of the left foot with the pads of the fingers. Reach with the arms. Step forward, fold, Uttanasana. And inhale, come up partway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Take a nice slow exhale, scoop the belly muscles in, root that energy down, and press into the feet so it reaffirms that strength. And inhale all the way up. Exhaling, hands to the heart, Tadasana. Good, inhale, sweep your arms up to the sides. Okay, so I'm just gonna face you so you can see. Take an inhale. Glide your shoulder blades down the back. Little bend of the elbows might help that. And turn your right thumb down. Okay, good. Standing in mountain pose, holding the body steady. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, turn to gaze at your left thumb. And then come back to center. Turn to gaze at your left thumb again. Come back to center. Keep your chin level, tall through the crown of the head. And exhale, gaze at that left thumb. One more inhale to center. Notice all that tingling and stretch in that right shoulder and chest. So exhale, back to that left thumb. And then inhale, come back to center. Turn the right palm up and sweep the arms. Good, and exhale to a fold. Inhale, partway lift. And exhale, bend your knees. Place your hands wide, walk back to a plank position. Full breath in, gaze up. Right, press back through the toes, hug in, find that core, and lower down long and strong all the way to the mat. Okay, point your toes, lift the hips into that softness. Really engage the core. Inhale, cobra. And exhale to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. As you inhale, sweep your right leg up and back. Exhale, pass it under the body. Again, I'm going to turn just so I'm looking at the camera. Right? Left foot lands parallel or toes slightly turned towards the right. Inhale, cartwheel, Virabhadrasana 2. So gazing at that right knee, make sure it's not the inside of the foot, but lined up with the toes, okay? So soften the hips back a little bit, right? Bow forward just a smidge and make sure we're really firing those core muscles. Lengthen that tail, okay? Inhale, right leg straightens. And exhale, left fingertips come behind the head. Right knee drives forward into Vira 2, and right fingers stretch forward, straight arm. Glide the shoulder blades down. And then the head kind of rests, but actively back into the left hand, fingers pressing with equal pressure with a chin level. So we have a nice long position for the neck, gazing at the right fingers. One more breath. Good, inhale, straighten the right leg, reach the arms. Again, I'm gonna turn, okay, fold over that right leg, and then inhale. Stretching the right leg up and back into a three-leg dog. And again, passing it under the body and in between the hands and lower that left knee all the way to the floor, okay? Again, if you have the flexibility and you want to get a big front line stretch, you can lower down to the block inside the right foot all the way to the floor if you have access to that. But probably the simplest position is right elbow on right knee. A little more bouncy, but more accessible from a range of motion standpoint. So left arm reaches back, bend the left knee, grab for the top of the foot or the ankle if you can. Okay, so that right hip, we're going to pull it back a bit, make sure the right knee stays over the ankle. And we're pressing into the right foot, so we have the glutes really active on that right side. So we're drawing in with the left hand as we're receiving it with equal pressure. Pressing the foot into the hand and really activating that stretch. Take a few more breaths here. And watching the breath, right? Really tracking the movement of breath. That in and of itself is one of the most potent ways to breathe better. Good. Exhale, release the left foot. Reach the arms with the pads of the fingers forward of that right foot and step your left foot to meet it in forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, come up partway lift. Pause halfway, Ardha Uttanasana to take a slow exhale. Right root down into the feet. Hug them in, sending the energy right back to the center of the body. Inhale all the way up. And exhaling, arms level. Okay, again, I'm going to face you so you can see. With a little bend of your elbows, really glide your shoulder blades down the back. Okay. Next, exhale, turn the left thumb down. Okay, head really comfortably on top of the shoulders, chin leveled. Take an inhale, and exhale, turn to gaze at your right thumb. Good, come back to center as you inhale. And exhale over to the right. Good, inhale back to center. And exhale over to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, last one over to the right. Good, inhale back to center. Turn that left palm up, sweep the arms, and then exhale to a fold. Inhale, partway lift. And then exhale, bend your knees, place your hands, and we're going to come on to all fours. Okay. So we're just going to do just a little bit more activation of those core muscles so our body knows well how to use those before we leave tonight. So if you do have a block, use it. You're going to place it in between the thighs, just above the knees. Okay. Stack the shoulders over the wrists, the hips over the knees. Curl the toes under. And then we're squeezing the block, and as well, we're going to press back through all 10 toes and hug the toes in. Feel the belly muscles fire. So nice, strong core muscles firing. We're going to lift the knees literally just a couple inches off the floor without shifting our weight forward over those shoulders. And hold, so keep holding, knees hovering, shoulder blades gliding down. Tuck the chin, comfortable position for the neck. Right. Press through all 10 toes, hug them in, squeeze the block. And take 3 more breaths, so really feel your breathing. Right, nice slow exhale. One more. And release. Okay. Set your block off to the side. So we're going to do a couple of really, really easy, lovely floor stretches, but movements. So you're going to begin, and of course you can position yourself however you want. I'm going to position myself so you can actually see exactly what my body is doing. Okay. So we're going to come into a tight pigeon. Okay. So I'm going to show you what this looks like here, and then I'm going to come back to that start position. So tight pigeon, so rather than the knee wide outside of the hip, I'm going to bring it in more towards the midline of my body, okay? And then I'm going to fold over it, okay? So actually keep watching me so you can kind of see how this lovely little flow is going to go. So imagine me facing you. I'm going to bend that right knee and fold over it. So it comes to the midline. The knee comes to the midline of my body. And then come up. Straighten that right leg forward, bend the left knee, and fold over into a tight pigeon to the left. And then come back up out of your fold. Feel free to press up with the arms as much as you'd like. Okay? Straighten the left leg, bend the right knee tight in, and fold over it. Coming up, again, press as much or as little as you want through the arms. Okay, straighten the right leg. Bend the left knee, and then fold over that left knee. Come up as you inhale, straighten the left leg. Bend the right knee, fold over it. And if anyone's having an issue with this, just come into a figure 4. Please don't work through any sort of knee pain. Okay, that joint was not intended to be torsioned. And if it is because of tightness, we want to actually give it its due and just come out of it and use a simpler pose to keep it safe. So do about 5 more of those each side. And if you can't do those, hold your figure 4. So I'm going to keep moving so you can look if you're not quite sure. Couple more, or hold, keep holding figure four. And I'm sorry, I didn't tell the figure four people to switch. So switch if you're in figure four to get the other side. Good. Good. All right. So legs straight in Dandasana, or staff pose. Slide your hands a little wider than your hips with your fingers pointing towards your feet. Okay. Bend the elbows a little bit and glide the shoulder blades down, finding a neutral spine. Okay. Press the elbows to straight, getting into potentially shoulder, bicep, and certainly forearm. And if you have the mobility in your wrists and the flexibility of the forearms and want to get deeper into your bicep, your chest, or your shoulders, walk the hands back a little further. And notice your breathing. Notice if you've lost that rhythm. And find your long, slow exhale to come back. Take a few more breaths here. Good. All right, so we're going to go through one last little movement flow here. So we're going to come on to the side of the body. I'll begin on the right. And I'll position myself so you can see my legs moving. So the left leg is going to go just a little bit behind the right leg. So top leg, just a little behind the bottom leg, okay? And then I'm going to take the top arm, stretch it up and overhead. The down arm is going to come at a 90-degree angle to my torso. I'm going to let the head relax on the floor. And as I stretch down and slightly behind with that left leg, I'm reaching up and a little bit forward to that left arm. And then I'm going to slide my left leg across my right leg and bring it with a little bend of the knees, maybe more for those of you who have tight hamstrings and outer hips. Okay, a little more bend of the knees. And then I'm going to sweep the left arm open and reach over to the left with a gentle turn of the head, only as is comfortable to gaze at the left hand. And then I'm going to sweep that left leg across the right leg, slightly behind it, and then reach the left arm up and get a nice stretch through, especially through that left side body and hip, and up into that left shoulder. And then sweep that left leg over the right. Left arm comes out to the left side, gentle gaze over to the left, nice spinal twist. And I'm going to do about 5 more of those. Left leg behind the right. Left arm reaches up. Slight turn of the chest down as the left arm reaches. And then sweep the left leg over the right. Sweep the left arm out to the left side. Gentle, easy gaze towards that left hand. And then left leg sweeps over the right, stretching down. Left arm reaches up, slight turn down of the chest. And then left leg forward, left arm back to the left. And left leg sweeps over right, left arm reaches up. Couple more. Just slow, like feeling the really lovely support of the floor, and yet all this openness that's available to you. And allowing yourself to feel and track whatever body sensations are showing up. The benefit of that is just about a millionfold. One of the things, of course, is that we feel pain that we need to be mindful of and move away from as we need to be comfortable. But beyond that, we have access to really balance our nervous system when we feel. And when we stay in the body. All right, and making our way on to the other side. So I'm on the left side, so my right leg is going to come slightly behind. The left arm in front of me at a 90-degree angle to my torso. And the right arm up and stretching. Chest turns slightly down here and stretch down through that right leg and up through the right fingers. Sweep the right leg across the left. Bend the knee as needed. And then right arm out to the right, gentle gaze over to that right hand, and then sweep the right leg over the left. Slight turn downward with the chest as you stretch up through the right, down through, up through the right arm, down through the right leg, and keep those nice, easy movements. And noticing the inclination to perhaps engage the tension of the neck. Let it feel supported on the floor. If it's a little off and you have a blanket, you can place the blanket under the head so that it's neutral and more comfortable if need be. A couple more. And then bringing the limbs back to the center, roll onto your back. And then let your feet be wider than your knees. Let your knees fall in on one another. Placing your arms in any comfortable position. So out to the side, relaxed with palms up, or hands rested on the belly or the rib cage, or one hand over the heart and the other at the belly, whatever feels really restful and really resourceful for you. So we're going to take these last few moments before Shavasana to really just engage with good feeling in the body. So begin by noticing your breathing, feeling the rhythm of your breath. And easefully feeling that long exhaling breath. And notice how easily the inhaling breath makes its way in fullness after we completely release on the exhale. And just continuing to notice how resourced, how good we feel in our body when we just simply notice this life-giving energy. And then allow your awareness to drift to other sensations in your body. And we're seeking those feelings within the body that hold spaces of good feeling sensation. Warmth, pulsation, ease, relaxation. perhaps even a feeling of elation, of peace. And so allow yourself to be drawn into these physical spaces, or this physical space within your body. And often those feelings of discomfort get our attention, and that is okay. In this moment, I'm asking you to find the resource, the goodness. And if those tiny voices of discomfort get your attention, simply turn to the awareness of what and where that is in your body. And just allow yourself to experience it at 1% for just a moment. Right? Just give it a tiny bit of attention. If you can, give it attention with grace. And if that doesn't feel appealing in the moment, just give it a moment of gaze. And then turn back to that place of goodness, that place of really innate well-being within the body, in that physical space. And allow yourself to really experience that goodness that always resides along the discomfort we experience. And in each moment, if discomfort gets your attention, each moment that happens, turn back to it, experience it at just 1%, maybe even giving it gratitude if that feels resonant, and then turning back to the goodness within you. The physical space in your body where warmth and pulsation or peace, happiness, whatever, resides within you. Allow yourself to feel that. And then making our way fully into Shavasana. If this position is comfortable for you, let it be your final pose. Or bring your legs straight, arms at your sides, traditional corpse pose. Or support it in any way that you feel most comfortable, most restful. And now that awareness of your body, let it fade. All effort to do anything, release and rest. Once again, begin to notice your breath, the movement of this life-giving energy. Placing your your right hand on your left shoulder, just give it a hug. Take your left hand and just hug the rib cage on the right side. And as you move the breath, just feel the container of your own body, the movement of breath into your hands. That gesture of giving from the hands, of holding that container. And the movement of the breath to really experience that. And release your arms, stretch them overhead to the floor behind you. And roll off to one side, pause for a moment, just feeling this really lovely container of the body. Anchor the practice, the feelings, the awareness you gained during this last hour within you. And make your way up to a seat and place your hands together in front of your heart. So thank you so much for being here. Even though I don't see you, I feel, and as we've all probably experienced more and more connection in this odd way. But thank you for showing up this evening to take care of you and to be here in connection with others. So from that place of deep gratitude within you, I bow. Namaste. Good night, everyone. If you have any comments or anything you'd like to address, please feel free to comment on this. This will be saved on Englewood Earth Treks Facebook. So hope to see your faces soon. Take care. Good night.